Welcome to our episode of Dining with Princess Diana.
What was she like?
She was incredible. She was always interested in what was going on behind those doors in the kitchen. The princess was a terrible cook. She said that herself. She couldn't cook.
Now, if you're like Princess Diana, or you haven't stepped into the kitchen for some time, don't worry. This recipe is quite simple. Let's go over our ingredients, shall we? 4 medium red bell peppers, half a cup olive oil, 1 onion, 1 cup mushrooms, 1 zucchini, salt and pepper to taste, 2 tomatoes, 1 cup rice, smoked bacon, fresh basil, shredded, 4 ounces mozzarella cheese, and 2 tablespoons grated Parmesan cheese. We're going to first preheat the oven to 350 degrees and then practice our knife work. We're going to chop our onions, zucchinis, and tomatoes. Don't worry, they don't have to be fancy, but you do want to cut them on the smaller side. Remember, we're going to be stuffing our peppers with them. For the zucchini, I cut them into medallions and then quarter them. Set them aside when you're done so we can turn our attention to the vessel of this recipe, the red bell pepper. Now, I choose red, and Diana also had red bell peppers, but you're more than welcome to use any color. Just make sure, in addition to cutting the tops off, you want to remove the seeds and as much of the white membranes as possible. If your peppers are oddly shaped and cannot stand up on their own, all you have to do is just cut a little piece of the bottom to level them out. Drizzle them with oil, place them on a baking sheet, and bake for 25 minutes or until they start to soften. Remove them from the oven to cool. Now let's focus on the stuffing. Let's start with the rice base. I usually do a 2-to-1 or 1.5-to-1 ratio between rice and water. So for this recipe, I'm going to start with 1 cup of rice and 2 cups of water. I sprinkled some salt, some oil, and I let it come to a boil. You're basically going to be steaming the rice, so this is a low and slow recipe. If you add too much heat, the water will spill over, something I've had to learn so many times. Now, the bacon. Bacon. I'm using a cast iron to fry them. Whenever I cook bacon, I'm reminded of a quote my dear friend of mine would utter from time to time. Bacon cooks on the plate. You don't want to overcook it. When it's just about to turn crispy, remove it from the skillet, add it to a plate that has some paper towels on it to soak up the oil, and let it rest. It's going to be cooking still. Once this is cooled down, I want you to cut it into pieces. Now, the original recipe calls for oil to saute the rest of the vegetables, but I will say that if you would like to add some extra flavor to it, you could use the bacon grease. For the sake of fidelity, we're going to be sticking to olive oil, but keep that in mind. If you have bacon grease, you might as well use it. You're going to be adding your onions, mushrooms, zucchinis, and a little bit of oregano to the pan. Season them with salt and pepper to taste, and then saute them over high heat until they soften. Once you're done with that, add the tomatoes, the water, your cooked rice, and a bouillon cube, and let it simmer for about 5 minutes. If you have stock, just replace that with the water and the bouillon cube. Now the fun part. Fold in the bacon, the mozzarella, the basil, and divide among the 4 peppers. Sprinkle Parmesan cheese and put this back in the oven for 15 minutes. And voila! Princess Diana's stuffed bell peppers. What we have here is a refreshing, veggie-forward dish with the right amount of texture coming from the bacon bits and the gooiness of the melted cheese. The dish is colorful with its myriad of vegetables, and it's also a simple recipe that allows each of its components to shine. For a figure like Diana who was conscious about her weight and about what she ate, this meal felt very light, in a very good way. Filling, but not overtly so, simple yet comfortable. I shared this recipe with my wife, and she made me add it to our family cookbook.